Good afternoon or good evening, depending where you are, or good morning even. My name is Barry Selby. If you're watching this for the first time, thanks for joining me. This is a chapter in an ongoing series of talks entitled Messages from the Masculine. And after having 3 podcasts this past week, actually last week, it's been sitting with me that I need to tell more about my own journey, my own history, my own story, about what I went through and what got me to where I am now and what I do that makes me into being this relationship attraction expert, as I've been branded or been called, or known as the love doctor as well. Because some people seem to think that I've got it all together and I'm perfect. And I'm not saying nothing could be further from the truth. However, some gaps in the story might be helpful to fill in so you know more about me and about my journey. And so those watching this live, you can comment. If you're watching the replay, feel free. And if you're watching on YouTube, this was first done on Facebook Live, just for full disclosure. So, again, quick introduction. My name is Barry Selby. I am a published author, #1 best-selling author, in fact, of a book, which I have handy for a change, called 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. And you can find it on my website, which is barryselby.com/book. That book is the culmination of a lot of years of experience and adventures and misadventures. So let me take you back a little bit, shall I? Give you the full piece. And reason why I do what I do, because let me back up. Why I do what I do is what I'm going to talk about. What I do, for those who don't know, I should probably give that piece as well, is I'm a passionate champion for the feminine. And in particular, I'm a messenger, a spokesperson, a herald, that's a fancy word, for women to live in their feminine. That's what this series has really been about. Messages from the Masculine, the subtitle, which is not written yet, is something on the lines of inspiring the feminine heart. And so this video is really to explain where I come from and why I do what I do and what my history is. So you have some context of why I'm doing this. So to back up a little bit, when I was younger, way younger, as a kid in high school, in fact, I mean, to go back even further, let me start with the fact that I really have always been, I was close to my mother, and she passed away in 2012. And it was an interesting experience. I didn't go through major trauma and upset and hurt. I actually went through that earlier when she got really sick. So in a way, I grieved before she passed away. But it was something that reminded me just how much I valued her in my life. And as a kid especially, I wasn't proud of this, but as a younger kid, I was much more sensitive than my brother was, who was younger than me. And my dad certainly wasn't as sensitive. He was very conservative, reserved, unemotional man. And I didn't relate to him very well. I was more sensitive than that, and so I felt more close to my mother. In fact, in terms of certain certain alignments, my brother and my dad were born in the same month, both right-handed, and very similar facial features. My mother and I were both left-handed, and also had similar facial features. So there was a certain, alignment of energetics. So I was close to my mother in some ways too. But obviously, I was a boy, not a girl, just to be clear. In high school, getting back to that part, I wasn't, I would say, the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Machismo guy at school. I wasn't the soccer player. I grew up in England, by the way, in case you didn't notice that. Or rugby player, or anything sort of strong. I did play field hockey in a co-ed team, a mixed team with the girls. So you can see that I wasn't the strong guy. What it meant, though, was I didn't get many dates. At high school, I was out of the loop in that context. However, I was the go-to guy for the girls who needed someone's shoulder to cry on, which at the time was easy for me to do, but I felt like somehow I was missing something because I should have been able to take them out and ask them out, but I had no confidence in the area. But the women trusted me. The girls trusted me. And it was something I didn't realize was one of my gifts and my skills. As I look back now over the past several decades, I see how much of my life I've been the safe place for women. Not necessarily my girlfriends, I'll get to that one in a minute, but certainly to women in my life, I was someone that they would come to and trust. They would lean on my shoulder, they would cry in my arms, they would call me up because they were upset about something. It was a gift I always had, and it wasn't necessarily a money-making thing, which is why I didn't realize could be my career, my vocation in a way, which is what it's part of I do now. However, it was a service that I always provided, and I felt that. And so I've always had this almost as a gift or just an ability to be a safe container to hold space for women in particular. So when it was high school, in my 20s, 30s, and beyond, I'm not going to give you some exact numbers yet. This is my birthday tomorrow, so I'll be talking about that. I'll maybe a broadcasting tomorrow about that. However, I'm definitely aware that I can see a thread going way back to my childhood of how I was a resource, a safe place, and a compassionate heart for women. So that's really been the thread for which I'm realizing, looking back, I've been resting on and staying true to. And as I said at the beginning, at the top of this, a lot of noise around here. Sorry, I'm cat sitting for a friend, so it's a beach spot, and there's a lot of noisy traffic around, so you may be hearing it on the camera. The largest part of my work with helping my clients, being a relationship attraction expert, is to help them attract the love they deserve and desire. My clients are women. It's part of what I do, but there's still something in there about supporting them in living fully. What I've been realizing the last few months, this is why I've done this video series and why I'm doing more live event speaking this year, especially to reach more women, is, ladies, we men, we as a planet, we as a human race, need your strength, your feminine strength, your leadership in the world to course correct our path, our worldview, our way of being. And I don't know how many men are talking about this. I'm speaking of this from my own experience. Oh, I'm going to fill in some gaps. I realized I skipped across some stuff. But I'm very passionate about this, as you can tell, because it keeps coming up. In my own relationship history, just to fill in that blank, or that gap, my dating life has been sporadic. And being on this personal growth journey, being in seminars since 1984, yes, I've been doing this for a long time, I've always been on a fast path of growth and evolution, learning new things, discovering new things, and constantly learning how much the more is to go. It wasn't like, oh, I know so much stuff. Yeah, I wrote a #1 best-selling book. I've got more books coming because I keep learning more things. I'm a lifelong learner, and I hope you would be too. So that's kind of the focus of my work, is to pass along what I've learned along the way, and then learning more things to bring down and bring forward and bring into other people's lives. So in my dating life, to get back to that, I know I keep skirting around it, so I want to get on it for you. I had some hit and miss experiences. Not successful all the time, not failing all the time. Early in my life, dating-wise, I was very caught up in what's the word I'm looking for? I was very caught up in emulating my parents' model. And I talk about it in my work with clients, is that our history gets in the way of our true choices. So I was stuck in this paradigm quite frequently. Sorry, I'm being knocked at the door. You know what? Hold on a second. I'll be back. Whoops. Knocking the camera around. I'll keep going. Sorry, I'm getting interruptions and stuff. Okay, where was I? In my dating life, I was very much in the model of emulating my parents. That's what I was trying to say. Get back in thought. Sorry, I lost track. Squirrel attention happens. So my what's the word for? My growth was learning what that was and healing that, and for my clients to help them with that too. Sorry, I got so pulled out of focus. I'm going to bring myself breath. Give me a second. Okay then. To continue. After going through that learning, that I was discovering, first of all, I was aware of the fact that I was doing the same thing again and again, that I really wasn't my truth, but I've been imprinted with by my parents, and I talk about it in other videos, and I do it in my coaching work. I learned to heal that and change that. However, I got very involved in this personal growth journey, in the spiritual path of it too. And being the spiritual path, it put me into a very feminine place, not realizing this, because spiritual work, the study and the growth is really a spiritual journey that is feminine. It is, yeah, that made sense. And what I didn't realize until later on, I was attracting very strong masculine-driven women, because there was this polarity, but I was on the other side of it without realizing it. And again, this was totally unconscious. I wasn't aware of it. Then 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I was educated and learned through my studies and passion about what the differences were, and realized I was out of alignment. So I was attracting partners out of alignment too, because we mirror that beautifully. So for the last 10 years, I've been very immersed in the study of the masculine and feminine polarity, which is what I teach now in my work. And why I'm so passionate about women being in the feminine, because so many women have been trained by society to be in the masculine. As I mentioned in 2 of my previous Facebook Lives about women stop becoming men. Yes, it was that blunt, because ladies have been trained that way by the culture, by society. And I'm apparently the one man standing up for this. I'm sure I'm not the only one, though. To speak to women and say, we need you in our feminine. We need you expressing your feminine gifts in business, in life, in love, everywhere, to help us all. So that's in a brief explanation, my own journey, my own path, and my journey to be here. So that's really what I want to speak about. If you just come in late, please go back and watch from the beginning, because I did cover some personal stuff here. And this is number 12 in a series. There's more coming. And these messages from the masculine will continue to inspire the feminine heart. Please share this out with your friends and followers. I appreciate you being here. If you're on YouTube, please share it out on social media as well. And I'll catch up with you another time. Meanwhile, I've got to go think about what I'm going to do tomorrow for my birthday. I'll see you folks later. Take care. Bye.